Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to discuss to you how to set up your drawing in AutoCAD. This time we are going to set the drawing limits. But first of all, always make sure that before you're going to set the drawing limits, you already set your drawing units. Alright, so why we need to set our drawing limits? So here in AutoCAD, under your drawing area, this area here offers an unlimited drawing sheet, meaning you can draw as much or as far as you can based on the drawing that you selected. So it extends all the directions, but we will not use all of this area. So we will need to specify our limits. So the drawing limits will be the workspace that we selected to work in and can be specified using the 2 points. So the first one is the lower left hand corner and the second one is the upper right hand corner. So it is in diagonal direction. So to know the exact limits needed, so we will make sure that we will have these two important information. First important information is what AutoCAD unit have you selected? So in our part 1, we selected centimeter as our default unit. So we are now using this centimeter AutoCAD unit. So the second one, what is the longest dimension of your drawing? So let's try to take this example as our drawing. So we have here a mechanical object. So we need to identify the maximum dimension for this object so whenever we're going to draw it in the drawing area. So we need to specify the longest x-axis and the y-axis. So as you can see, the longest dimension for our drawing is in 8 centimeter and the longest y-axis is 5 centimeter. But because we are going to include this area for your dimension, so we will need to specify a longer range for your area. So assume we are going to create a maximum x-axis of 15 centimeter. So meaning, if we are going to set the units into 15, then the 15 AutoCAD units is equivalent to 15 centimeters. And for your y-axis, we'll set it into 12 AutoCAD units, which is also equal to 12 centimeters, because centimeters is the default scale that we set in our drawing units. So now let's try to set the drawing limits. Right. So to create the limits, we will type the command limits, right? And then press enter. So the first thing that you need to do is to set the area. So the first point that you are going to specify is the lower left corner. So by default, you are using the 0, 0. But if you are going to extend below that 0, 0 area, then you can choose your own preference. So let us take only the 0, 0 origin point as our lower left corner. And then press enter. And then specify the upper right corner. So as we can see in our object, we set this into maximum of 15 x-axis and then 12 for your y-axis. So we can type here 15 for the x, comma, and then 12 for your y-axis. And then press enter. And now we already set our drawing limits. So how are we going to check if it already set? Okay, let's try to draw an object. So let's try to draw a line. Let's turn on the ortho mode. And then let's draw the maximum area. So we have here 15, then 12 for the y-axis, then 15, and then 12. So in our drawing limits, we set the maximum upper right-hand corner into 15 and 12 values. So from 0, 0, the maximum from this point up to the right is 15 AutoCAD units and 12 above, right? So to test, then let's try to draw. Okay, type L and then enter. Let's create a line. All right, as you can see, we can draw outside the area because we didn't turn on the limits. So let's try to erase this. So to turn on the limits, type again limits and then type either on or off. To turn on the limits, type on, right? Let's try if we already set the limits. Let's draw a line outside the area. So you can see I already clicked this area here, but it won't create a line because we turned on our limits. So we can only draw a line inside this area, but outside the area, we are restricted. But if we are going to turn on the limits or turn off the limits, let's try off and then press enter. Then let's create a line outside. So we can now create a line outside the area because we turned off the limits. Alright? So that's how we set our drawing limits.